Eli Drinkwitz. With just 3 years in the SEC, it seems like each year there's a new controversy circling around him. Drinkwitz's on and off the field antics rubs people the wrong way, and many people just jot him down as a petty person or a quote, troll head coach. However, most of his trolling comes as a retaliation to others slighting him or his team. So, let's review and judge the most notable of his quote unquote controversies as we dive right into the clipboard. In March of 2023, Drinkwitz got under fire for a tweet that basically said people are making more money on NIL than his brother-in-law, who is a pediatrician who saves lives. Now, with this controversy in mind, I feel like it should be noted that Drinkwitz is making $4 million a year for 6 years under his current contract. So do I think it's a little hypocritical for Drinkwitz to reprimand NIL about large sums of money in college athletics when he is making large sums of money? Yes, absolutely. But do I get what he's saying? Yes. Large amounts of money and young talented individuals away from their parents never ends well. So I think at the end of the day, Drinkwitz wanting to limit NIL is the right thing to do, but I think tweeting his message the way he did and using the reasoning he did was the wrong way to do it. I believe Drinkwitz should have focused more on the protecting college athletes angle, because at the end of the day, what a coach should do is protect his athletes. So that was a real minor controversy in the grand scheme of things. Drinkwitz would backtrack and clarify his statements at SEC Media Days, and all was well with the world. Until 2 months later, when Drinkwitz went on the Jim Rome show. I don't know what it is about Tennessee and Drinkwitz, but whatever it is, it can only be described as beef. Drinkwitz went on the radio over the summer and stated during his introduction, "I thought you were going to introduce my record. But with the latest allegations against Tennessee, let's hold off on what my record is, because I expect them to vacate some wins, and that's going to help my record a little bit." Now, Tennessee fans were upset with this jab at their NCAA violations. But here's the thing. Drinkwitz wasn't wrong. And I mean, Jeremy Pruitt is 2 years removed from the program. So I feel like people and Tennessee fans should have relaxed. But once again, this instance shows how Drinkwitz does not have a filter, and he will troll any team. But let's get into some of the more well-known and juicier drama. On October 31st, 2020, during Drinkwitz's first year at the helm in Columbia, his Missouri Tigers traveled to Gainesville to play the Florida Gators. In 2020, Dan Mullen and the Florida Gators had a really solid unit and handed it to the Tigers on Halloween night, where the game was never really close. The Gators won big 41-17, and in the press conference after the game, Coach Mullen decided to wear his Halloween costume.
Still Halloween, baby.
Needless to say, Drinkwitz was not a fan of Darth Mullen, and Drinkwitz would remember this the next time the Tigers would meet the Gators. After a down year for both teams, they met in Columbia for a game that would clinch a bowl berth for each team. In a tight match going into overtime, Mizzou risked it all and decided to go for two, despite the fact an extra point could tie it. And well, take it away, Drinkwitz.
Bazelak in trouble, lofts it up to the end zone! They got it! Touchdown! Tight end! Daniel Parker!
After the game, Drinkwitz decided to take revenge on Mullen with force, bringing out a Jedi robe and a lightsaber.
It's a process, and we're building on that process.
Question?
May the force be with you.
Many people thought that this move by Drinkwitz was petty and low class. However, others like myself just think the move was for revenge after last year, and it was more funny than dirty. But one thing that no one can debate, no matter what side of the drama you're on, is that this was the first real taste of Drinkwitz becoming the trolling head coach that he's known for today. The most recent Drinkwitz drama comes from the highly anticipated matchup between Missouri and Tennessee, where both teams were vying for a long shot chance at the SEC championship. When addressing the controversy, I feel it's important to go back to the last matchup between these two in 2022, where Heupel would break the coaching cardinal rule. Despite being up by 35, his team would go for the score instead of kneeling it out with 30 seconds left. Drinkwitz in his press conference and on the field was visibly upset with Heupel, but he could do nothing about it as Tennessee stamped in a 66-24 win over Missouri. Back to the present, as Georgia would clinch the game-winning spot in the SEC championship, leaving Missouri second in the East. But Drinkwitz got his revenge and went up to Heupel after the game, saying, "We stand on business, Josh." Now I get why Tennessee fans would be upset about this comment, but at the same time, I get where Drinkwitz is coming from. He was just getting closure on an embarrassing moment to his program that, in all fairness, Heupel could have avoided if he held his team back from scoring in the 2022 game. With just these few highlights, it's clear that Drinkwitz is definitely petty, but that doesn't mean he's a dirty coach. I feel with each instance of trolling, Drinkwitz was just trying to prove he will protect his players, his program, and his team. Now, do I also think that with the Heupel drama, Drinkwitz got his own pride hurt a little bit? Yes. But do I think people are overreacting and Drinkwitz is justified in what he did? Yes again. Despite many people mistaking Drinkwitz for a junior high math teacher, Drinkwitz is actually one of the most successful college football head coaches this season and has built a program on the rise in Missouri. The process of rebuilding is often not given the time that it needs, and after 2 straight 6-7 seasons, many people thought Drinkwitz would get the axe last offseason or this offseason if he underperformed. However, Mizzou gave him the time he needed, and the results are beginning to show with this 2023 campaign. Drinkwitz is one of the most interesting head coaches in all of college football, and I want to do a deep dive on his road to becoming the head coach of Missouri. If this is something you would be interested in, consider commenting on this video to let me know, and I'll make that video ASAP. Anyways, that's going to do it for this edition of Cleats and Clipboards. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a fun time watching this video. I had a blast making it. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and liking. And hey, if you didn't enjoy today's video, consider subscribing and liking instead. That's going to about do it. It's a great day for sports, and I'll see you next time.